Good morning.
There it is.
Yeah.
I never know who should start.
Huh?
I said I never know who should start.
Okay.
Alright, title of today's video, Dad.
Yeah.
3 fees
Yeah.
you should avoid, never or avoid paying if you're buying a used car. So a lot of people have shown a lot of interest. A lot of our videos around used cars get a lot of love. So I thought we'd talk about some of the fees that sometimes you see dealers add, and from your experience, you know that you really should never pay for.
Okay.
So
that makes sense to me. 3 fees that you should never pay for when buying a used car.
And if we end up having 4 because we're going back and forth, don't give us a hard time.
Or just change the title of the video.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. Okay. Fee number 1. There should never be an additional reconditioning fee on top of the selling price. The selling price already includes all the reconditioning costs that the dealership has incurred. So anytime a dealership tries to add the additional or an additional reconditioning fee to the selling price, that's the most bogus fee of all, except for maybe when I get to number 3, which might actually be the most bogus fee of all. But never, ever, ever pay for a reconditioning fee above and beyond what the selling price of the vehicle is.
And I know we've talked about it a bit in different videos. Can you explain just briefly what is a reconditioning fee? So if I trade my vehicle in, it's not like it just gets flipped and sold immediately, right?
It does not. It has to go through a state inspection, and they have to do the work that's required to bring it up to the safety standards that are required in that particular state, and any other reconditioning that needs to be done, including a detail and dent removal or ding repairs and things like that. And so oftentimes dealerships will list the selling price of a car. Let's say they listed at $29.95, and then they'll have a line item that says reconditioning fee $1,500. No, nice try. Maybe you can get it on the next guy because he's either asleep at the wheel or he just doesn't care. But that's not a real fee that ever needs to be paid.
And we just did a video where my dad appraised my Volvo S90, and you talked about how there's like $500 worth of tire repair or wheel repair.
Wheel repair, yeah.
And then later that day, I had a phone call with my sister, and she said, "I really hope Dad never appraises my car because Dara's car has a lot of dents and dings and things like that." But that speaks to reconditioning.
Yeah.
If the dealer needs to get something up to snuff for sale, then that's a cost that they incur, and then that should be reflected in the sale price, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you see an extra
it better
line
be.
item, yeah,
It better be.
So don't fall prey to that one.
Okay. And what was number 2 on the list?
So number 2 we were going to talk about was going to be the destination charge.
The destination charge.
Yeah.
Yes. That's, that might be more bogus than number 1 because, well, the destination charge, it's already there. Okay? If it was a trade-in, it's already there. If they got it from the auction, if they bought the car at an auction and they had to have it shipped in, well, that's already factored into their cost in the car when they brought it into inventory. So you can't sell a pre-owned car. Well, I guess you could, because obviously there's dealerships out there trying to do it. But imagine buying that $29,995 used car.
I think there was one extra 9 in there.
There might have been. It might have been the world's most expensive used car. But imagine buying it, agreeing to the price, and then have a line item for $1,500 in additional reconditioning. Oh, and $995 in transportation or destination charges to bring it in. It's like, how many crazy fees that don't apply can we actually add with the hope that, I don't know, some of the public will go, well, I won't pay the top one, but I'll pay the second one. Those are bogus fees, should never be paid. There is no destination charge that isn't already figured into the asking price of that pre-owned car.
And I do just want to get your opinion on this because I think it can be confusing for some people. The destination charge is part of the original Monroney label, the window sticker on a new vehicle.
That is correct.
So if you see, when you're buying a new car, this whole video about used cars, but just to make it clear, if you're buying a new car and you look at the window sticker and it has destination $995, or I think your Mini was something like $895 because they can fit more of them on a truck or whatever, you are paying that. That's built into the MSRP. But for a used car,
you're not.
Can't.
Doesn't
fall.
exist.
Yeah.
It's already figured into the asking price of the car.
And there is kind of an interesting tangent here, just briefly, why
Okay.
dealers really like trade-ins versus having to go buy cars at the auction, because when they buy cars at the auction, they do have their own destination. They have to pay
They
money.
have fees. They have to pay auction fees. I mean, Chris said it on Saturday. If I buy a car at the sale,
Yep.
it's for $10,000. Well, it
Cost me 11 too.
11.2 by the time it arrives at my door before I've even done any reconditioning. So that's why some used car managers, the smart ones, will step up on a trade an extra $400, $500, $600, because it's still less than having to go find the car at the auction and bring it in.
Exactly.
Even though they might have been able to buy the car for a few $100s less at the auction, it will have cost them more by the time they get it to the dealership.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, fee number 3 that you really should never, ever be in a position that you have to pay.
Don't ever pay there's an upcharge because you're paying cash and we can't make any money in the back by financing this deal. And some dealerships do it. They have an upcharge for paying cash. That's crazy. I mean, who ever heard of we're going to charge you extra because you're paying cash? When you go to the gas station, do they have on their price list? It's $1.99 per gallon if you pay cash, and it's $2.09 per gallon if you put it on your credit or debit card. So there's never an upcharge for paying cash. There's usually a savings associated with paying cash. Now, at a dealership, I can tell you that one of the biggest profit centers in a dealership is the finance department. And yes, they do make money by financing the car. And so if you are paying cash, well, they just lost the opportunity to make a little bit of money on the financing end of things. But that doesn't mean that whatever that potential loss is suddenly gets added to the selling price of the car because, well, they don't have that opportunity. That's what's the nicest way I can say it? That's bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay? That's just people trying to be greedy. And there's enough people in the industry that have given the industry a bad name that we don't need more people out there just inventing nonsense that they can add to a selling price of a car so that they can make a few extra dollars.
Yeah, it's well said, Dad. And I guess maybe one other thing that popped in my head as you were talking would be you really shouldn't have to pay for a CarFax or an AutoCheck or anything like that. If it's a reputable dealer and they're selling a used car, they'll give you that, right? You just got to ask.
They should, yeah. Yeah, there's no reason for them not to. They had to print one up anyway.
Exactly. So make sure you're not getting any type of fee associated with that.
Well, God, that would almost be number 4.
Yeah, but not quite. We'll say 3.5.
Okay, we're at 3.5. Do I hear 4? Does anybody say 4?
You know what time it is?
Time to say goodbye.
No. It's your take on time. What watch you wearing
today? Today, it is a Live.
Take it off. Take it off. The people come
it is
to watch.
I do business with a lot of niche watch companies. This is a Live watch, okay? The Live Rebel, and it's Swiss made.
See how it looks.
Probably in China. But they use a Swiss movement. and Chaz from Liv, who put the business together, they have a whole series of watches, and well, I like that one because it had an orange face with the
yellow face with the orange.
Yellow face with orange highlights. So that's just another one of my collection of niche watches that nobody's ever heard of, and that, as I like to say, is my take on time.
There it is.
Gentlemen.
All right, Dad. Well, thanks for running through the 3.5 fees you should never pay.
Yeah, and if somebody comes up with that other half, we'll make it 4 next time.
Yeah, we'll update it next time.
Yeah.
And if you've got any questions or thoughts, things that you want us to cover in the future, put them down in the comments below. We read every single one of them, so we'd be happy to address it in the future.
Terrific. I guess that means we're done for the day?
I think we're done.
Okay, well, if this is Tuesday, it must have been Monday. Sorry.